Number 11, Jose Sakamoto. Number 12, Lawrence Yasurudo. Number 13, Terushika Naito. Number 14, Yuto Kawashima. And number 15, Leo Watanabe. Head coach of Japan, Alejandro Martinez. Assistant coaches, Ken Tsuneta and Takayuki Irino. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team Serbia! 0, Aleksa Milenkovic. Number 1, Luka Budragovic. Number 4, George Turcic. Number 5, the captain, Ilya Miliasevic. Number 6, Filip Radakovic. Number 8, Jovan Ristic. Number 10, Marko Šarina. Number 11, Vuk Poglovic. Number 13, Aleksandar Chovičkovic. Number 17, Lazar Djokovic. Number 23, Nikola Djapara. And number 44, Filip Bovic. Head coach of Serbia, Vladimir Jokic. Assistant coach, Stevan Mijovic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the officials, the referees. From Kazakhstan, Yevgeny Mikhail. From the USA, Blanka Burns. And from Canada, Vassel Hussaini. And our FIBA technical delegate is from Australia, John Reardon. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise first for the national anthem of Japan. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Serbia. Game on! Luka Vudragovic. Triple time, Lazar Jokovic. Shot clock violation. First team foul, Serbia to transfer ban. Traveling violation. Hayato Bakuga. One dribble from the corner, Marco Sharanaz. Yuto Kawashima. Substitution, Japan, number 8, number 15, Shotaro Muto and Launu Watanabe. And also for Team Serbia, number 4, George Čurčić. Another triple by number 10, Serbia, Marko Sharanaz. Beautiful answer by Japanese number 10, Yu Osama. Substitution, Team Japan, number 11 and number 12, Kosane Sakamoto and Lawrence Yasuo Kudo. Also on the other side, number 8, Jovan Ristic. George Čurčić. Leo Watanabe. Substitution, Serbia, number 44, Filip Borojčanin. Foul, Serbia, 2 shots for the substitution. Serbia, number 70, Lazar Djokovic. Substitution, Serbia, number 1, Luka Vudragovic. Team foul Japan, second one, 2 shots for Serbia.
Hello and welcome in from the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023 from Hungary. I'm Andrew Willett on the call. Thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast as we are one quarter down between Serbia and Japan. As Japan misses, Serbia with the lead and the flush on the other end. Nice pass ahead and a sweet throwdown from Lazar Djokovic. Serbia now with the basketball back, and they lose it out of bounds. Not happy with himself. Filip Borovitin. Excuse me there on the pronunciation. Japan. Now in a 9-point basketball game. Excuse me, a 4-point game, 9 minutes left. As you can't finish the reverse back the other way. Nice drop-off pass from Borovitin. And free throws coming from Nikola Japa. Japa in his first minutes of action. Now 3:24 into the ball game. Scores his first points on the night. Serbia, of course, coached by Vladimir Jokic. Japan on the other side, coached by Alejandro Martinez. Of course, thank you all so much for joining in to the broadcast. You can find it on YouTube by searching FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023. As we are 3 days into tournament play, 4 days actually. We had one rest today. So the third day here for the FIBA World Cup U19. Excuse me. As down low and nearly a slam, but just loses it at the rim. I believe that might have been Yuto. I can't tell for certain. No. That was Nikola Japa. But another transition basket. And Serbia tacks onto the lead. Japan loses it, and again, Serbia on the run. Beautiful outlet passing and easy basket, says a quick score, and we are up to a double-digit lead, just like that. The outlet, pristine passing, and Filip Radakovic scoring on the other end. Again, I'm Andrew Willett, very happy to be joining you here for the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup in Hungary. And, of course, hop in the chat by searching FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023. Hop into our YouTube channel. That is FIBA, the basketball channel. Subscribe to us there. Give us a like. We are currently at 233 likes. Let's see if we can't get that up just a little bit higher. As well as hop in here and comment. I appreciate all of the comments. I'll be sure to try and interact throughout this broadcast. So it's not your typical play-by-play broadcast. But like, subscribe, and get in here and comment, interact with us. You can also interact with our social media at NextGenHoops on Facebook and Instagram. And using the hashtag FIBA U19 World Cup. Serbia, out of the first quarter break, has jumped up to a 10-point lead. Just like that, an 8-0 run. Dating back to the end of the first quarter. Now Japan is going to need to have a little bit of a comeback. 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. For Japan, Yuto Kawashima hitting the nice mid-range jumper. And that finally cuts the scoring drought. It was just a 2-point game before that 8-0 run. And now Japan looking to find some momentum. Yuto, back to Jacobs. Jacobs kick, a 3 on the way. That time, no. As Yadeshi could not make it. And a foul back the other way. Still an 8-point contest. As I see a few hellos in the chat. Sagawa, I apologize for that pronunciation, but hello, thank you for tuning in. Shinzi saying David Filipovic for Hungary. As another basket. This time, Akira Jacobs hitting the reverse. Game. Alexander tuning in from Debrecen, Hungary. Titus saying that Serbia has basketball, but Japan offers a little bit more, as we did a timeout after another Japan basket. Nice drive into the lane. And Watarugawa finishing inside. As Leo points out, that was the first basket just a couple of possessions ago from Akira Jacobs. Had the nice reverse.
Unique character. Unique chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Andrew Willett on the call here for the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023 as Serbia and Japan get underway. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. As you can make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, FIBA the Basketball Channel. Interact with us on social media using the hashtag FIBA U19, as well as following our account at NextGenHoops. As Japan nearly making the hustle play, Serbia instead back the other way, a 3. That would have been quite the turnaround. From a near turnover into a 3-pointer would have been painful for Japan. Instead, free throws coming for Serbia. And a 4-point game out of the timeout. Japan went on their own 6-0 run, rather, following an 8-0 run by Serbia. And the first free throw falls. From Milankovic. We had a why did they just break dance on the floor right there. There's some good old hustle here on the court for both of these teams. Now down on the block, and the shot falls. Yuto Kawashima able to finish inside. Blaster says, hey, my nationality, I am American. Here in the U.S., I am based in Indiana, in the United States of America. And really happy to be calling this game.
And substitution number 10, Michael.
As we get more free throws coming from Serbia. And checking out Filip Borkovicin. Tahoe. I appreciate your comments in the chat. As I'm just happy to be here on the broadcast. My first day with the FIBA U19 World Cup. As a couple of questions, Indiana, indeed. Where in Indiana? A little bit southwest of Indianapolis, so around central Indiana, but also spent my college days in Muncie, Indiana, at Ball State University. Has a pass down low and a big time throwdown. Lazar Djokovic with the two-hand flush off 2 feet. It really exploded to the rim.
Substitution as well for Team Japan, number 5, Taiga Okada.
JM Cruz says, shout out from the Philippines, I believe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, TK saying I went to the stadium of the Indy 500 last year. I actually was, it was a really cool experience, but I was able to work the Indy 500. So that's very personal to me as well, being from Indiana. And quite the event, as Japan, it would have been a nice pass, just a little bit of a spacing issue, and the turnover. Yadashi came up to space out a little bit better, and the turnover. Not a great look for Japan, as the game is back to 6 points. Serbia at one point had a 10-point lead. And now up ahead. Japan, a 3 on the way. No good from the left wing. It was a good-looking shot from Yadashi. As he pulls down the board. And divs it up. Akira Jacobs, smooth left-hand finish. Tejan Akira Jacobs brings it back to a 2-possession game, a 4-point game that is. Here with 3 minutes left. As inside, up and fouled. No whistle, actually. I think they say just out of bounds, as yes, Milinkovic was looking for that whistle. Instead, it will stay out and underneath, an inbound coming. Serbia and Japan, as Japan makes a few substitutions. You get Marko Sarnac inbounding. Down low, shot no from Lazar Djokovic. And up ahead comes Japan. Into the lane. The 1-2 and right back to him was Okada, who flips it up and cannot get it to go. Would have made it a 2-point game question of who is hosting this tournament. It is in Hungary here on day 3, as down low, another basket scored for Serbia. And Jotovic with a nice finish down low. As a tip to the corner for Japan, Ogawa no good. Can Serbia get out and run? We saw it early in this quarter as a fast-paced action leads to a turnover.
Substitution, Team Serbia, number 8, Jovan Ristic.
Go and let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. I'm curious, as we've got 2 minutes left in this first half. Shot on the way. The push shot, no. And the rebound pulled down by Saranac. Down low. And a kick out for a big-time triple. Jotovic has been scoring with ease. 6 for 8 from the field, 14 points. And just as Japan can't get much to go, they knock down a triple to respond. That is the most often play here. As you get an offensive rebound, it's going to most likely lead to a three-point shot. A lot of people like to say the best three-point shot is often an offensive rebound. Saw that right there from Japan, as they have another chance. Again, this time short from Okada. Back the other way. Serbia with 30 seconds left in the half. Drive baseline. And Jotovic again. No, Milinkovic, excuse me. As George says, Japan needs the threes. The one three that I have been able to see them hit, it was a triple from, or off of an offensive rebound. They really haven't been having much luck getting good looks from downtown. As no shot clock down the stretch. 20 seconds for Japan, down by 9. Potentially to close this quarter. The full court press. Pretty well broken by Okada, who is fouled. Just under 10 seconds left. Tabahud says drive the ball. Berton says greetings from Switzerland. Burhan, thank you so much for tuning in. As Serbia picks up the steal. And with 4 seconds, they turn it over. Shot will not get off from Okada. And through one half of basketball, Serbia nearly taking their largest lead, just under it with a 9-point advantage at the half, 42-33. As taking a look at some of the stats from the field, it's Serbia shooting 46%, while Japan shooting 43% from three-point range. Serbia a much higher percentage, 38 compared to 25 for Japan.
Unique character. Unique chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Unique character. Unique chemistry.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is the peak of the game.
It's the toughest competition in the basketball world to win.
That is why I will be there.
Because when you win for one,
You win for all.
Hello and welcome back from the half. I'm Andrew Willett on the call. Serbia and Japan competing in one of the final games here for the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023 from Hungary. On the call for FIBA, the basketball channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for staying with us through halftime as Serbia came out of the break, a 42-33 lead, 20 minutes of basketball left, as we have played a high tempo basketball game to this point. As we can get into some of the stats over here. From the field, it is Serbia shooting a higher percentage, as they're shooting 46% compared to 43% for Japan. From three-point range, 38.5% compared to 25%. Free throws, Japan shooting a much higher percentage, but Serbia winning the rebounding battle 23-16 in that first half. Steals pretty even, 7-6, Serbia's advantage. Assists, 11-6, Serbia's advantage, as well as the turnover advantage, 9 compared to 11 for Japan. Japan had 2 blocks, though. As an offensive rebound, attacking the basket. A foul before the putback to go. And now we've got free throws coming for Serbia. A few more first half stats. Second chance points, like this one off of the offensive rebound. 10-3. Advantage Serbia, as they led for 19 minutes and 47 seconds of that first half. It did get down to 2 points, 3 points, 4 points several times approaching the end of the first half, but Serbia was able to put their mark on the basketball game, get out to as large a lead as 12 in that second quarter, with their biggest run being an 8-0 run. Neither free throw able to fall for Serbia, and Akira Jacobs on the run. Matthew Baker asking the tough questions. He says, top 3 places to get a pork tenderloin sandwich in Indy. That's a good question. I mean, you've got a lot of options there, as Serbia into the lane. Shot floats up and no.
Second team foul, Japan.
Working through a couple of connection issues, but I would say the State Fair probably the best place that you're going to go for a pork tenderloin in Indy. Let's see here. As more free throws coming from Serbia. Matthew, appreciate it. Inside, Akira Jacobs for 2. Nice finish at the rim. Japan holding tight. Serbia attacking, and they lose it out of bounds. A little bit of a sound problem. Apologies for that in the chat. As down low, Japan gets it right back out. Shot on the way up and in for Serbia. Excuse me, for Japan. Apologies. Some questions as to why Nikola Jokic and Michael Jordan aren't playing. That's what we're all looking for the answers to. As Japan, nice hustle play. Okada. As we are getting close to 400 likes. Let's see if we can't hit that here soon on FIBA the Basketball channel. As Japan brings it right back down to a 3-point ball game. And they are hanging tight. We saw this in the first half as well. Staying close, but now come out in the second half. Japan with a strong start and a 3-point contest as we hit a timeout for Serbia. Nice little dump off for Akira Jacobs. As we see TK said, nice hustle play. Up to 411 likes. 412, see if we can't hit that even higher as this goes along. (43-40) as Japan has started this quarter 7-1 run. As in this third quarter, Serbia has only been able to score at the free throw line, and they've only hit 1 of 4 attempts. A rough start as they hold a narrow lead. Still around 3 minutes in. Montrose says, I'm from Norway and supporting Serbia in today's game as a 3 on the way. No. Getting up for the rebound. Yuto Kawashima. As up ahead, the reverse is good. To Joan Akira Jacobs. Driving inside for Serbia, fouled, but shot doesn't go. Mila Josevic. David says Serbia to Tokyo. As another look at the long pass from half court. Well done. As Akira Jacobs able to knock down the reverse. As always, be sure to head over to the YouTube page where you can interact with us in the chat. Ask me whatever questions you have on your mind as we just saw a 1-point game turn into a 2-point contest. And the second free throw falls for Serbia. But hop over to the YouTube channel by searching FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023 in YouTube, or going to our website, FIBA.basketball/U19/2023, as the World Cup is underway, the final day. Here, as we did some questions in the chat, Luca asking my favorite player. So I'm a Celtics fan back home, and Jaylen Brown has always been my guy. So he's my favorite Celtics player. I think outside of that, on other teams in the NBA, I'm a big-time Steph Curry fan, which I know can be quite the contest. As a shot up and in. Jacobs gives Japan a 3-point lead. Wow. As a shot on the way and off the mark. TK asking if I am a basketball player in the U.S. I did used to play basketball through high school. Did not in college. Although I have tried to stay with it. As George pointed out, Japan making those 3-pointers now. We did a shout out for the New York Knicks in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Alexander asked him what's wrong with Serbia, as they've just been a little careless with the basketball. Haven't gotten many shots to go, and they haven't done much of that. They go to the basket this time. Leads to an easy two-handed jam. Japan, though, still with the lead. Okada has it back. Right wing three. That time, no. Okada struggled from three-point range in this one. Now 1 for 4 from down, or 0 for 2 from downtown, 1 for 5 from the field. As pushing ahead, Kawashima. Ball finds its way around to Buto, and no on the three. Japan just firing away from downtown. Cyril says, can I get a shout out from Winnipeg, Canada? Of course you can. Thank you so much for tuning in. As turnovers continue to be costly for Serbia. Tim saying too many fouls as well, as we get another foul called. Johnny says, thank you so much. Johnny, appreciate you. Gerardo Alonso says, all the credit to Japan early in this one. Li Wei-shi, apologies for that pronunciation as well, but says, yes, Serbia needs to look inside a little bit more, as we've seen some more comments. I believe it was George saying there that Serbia has just been dominant against Japan down low. And Serbia again off the mark on the shot. Leo says, wow, Japan Warriors. They have been knocking down a few threes. As a sweet spin move into the lane, Akira Jacobs scores and then gets stepped over by Serbia. As Serbia runs down right back the other way, draws a foul. Luka in the chat. Says Serbia and Japan. I'm not sure what he's referring to. But Luka, appreciate you. Impressive players so far today. I think for Serbia, Lazar Djokovic has had a really nice game. I mean, he went on a little bit of a run there in the second quarter where he was knocking down just about everything, TK. And now 6 for 9 from the floor, 15 points to lead all scorers, to go with 5 boards. He just has not had much luck. Only one shot in the second half. On the other side, I've really liked what I've seen from Akira Jacobs, who did not score until the second quarter. Now has the damn high with 16 points. He also heads to the bench. As we're under 3. Shot on the way. Back iron. And he got the bounce. NATO, as everything continues to fall for Japan, they extend the lead to 4. Serbia driving, looking for a foul, not even really looking at the basket, as Japan takes advantage. Buto on the other end. TK, appreciate that question. Phone K says, yeah, number 4 from Japan, that is Akira Jacobs. Has been very impressive. Apollo Ardila, apologies for that pronunciation as well, says cheering for Japan, watching from the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in. As a 3 on the way, it falls. Way to knock it down as the threes just continue to. Satamoto buries that one, and the lead up to 9. What an explosion from three-point range. It's at the half. They were shooting 25%. They've bumped that up 10%. Up to 35% here in this quarter alone. And Serbia takes a timeout as they now face their largest deficit. The deficit where they had the lead. Out of Serbia's timeout. They're looking to reclaim some of the magic that they had in that first half. Now, third quarter, it has been entirely Japan as they're winning this quarter 25-7. Only 7 points scored in more than 8 minutes for Serbia. Japan's defense has been really active as Serbia gets a switch. Now trying to attack it into the lane. Nice left hand, just could not finish. And back the other way comes Japan. In transition, drawing the foul. And fouled hard on the way up. Rudolph heading to the line. Isao Rudolph. As Jay says, the red-nosed reindeer. We have a call for the coaching against Serbia. As Potor says, what happened? How is Japan winning? Well, I mean, it has been quite the run as another offensive rebound, another chance for Japan, who has just been gunning from 3 in this quarter. Serbia, on the other hand, missing almost everything as they chip in 2 more points. Now they're up to 9 in this quarter. As they're going to try to get out and run them down. Remember, they're still in this. They had a 9-point lead at halftime, so getting outscored by 18 at one point, 19 at one point in this third quarter, is not that daunting, especially after a quick 5-0 run. Brings the lead right back down to a 5-point ball game. As off one laid, shot no. Japan trying to stay with it. Serbia continuing the run. Make it a 7-0 run. Here with 24.5 seconds left, and Japan takes the timeout. Wanting to talk things over, Alejandro Martinez. Nice pull-up 3, followed by a couple of transition baskets. And the short run from Serbia brings it right back down to a 1-possession game with a timeout. Ola Sol says awful possessions in the chat. Rini saying that Serbia will win even despite the unbelievable 26-7 run at some point for Japan through that third quarter. Rini's Again, saying Serbia will win. We've got a shout out from Christian saying shout out. Tomo says let's go. Another shout out for let's go Serbia in all caps. As we're down to 20 seconds here in the third quarter. One possession game, a quarter that Japan has controlled and seemingly lost control of after they had outscored Serbia by 19 at one point. A 7-0 run from Serbia brings it right back down to a one possession game. And now Rudolph drawing the foul as Japa fouled him. 3 seconds, 2 and a 3 on the way. No good from Japan's Neto. And at the break, we've got 1 quarter left of action. Japan surging after trailing by 9 to take a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter. Hello and welcome back from Hungary, the site of the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023. I'm Andrew Willett on the call as we have seen a back and forth basketball game that at one point was fast paced and now has kind of slowed down. But 9 minutes, 49 seconds left and an all too important matchup here in Group C. 16 teams arrive for World Cup play at the U19 stage in Hungary. Serbia undefeated here on the third day of pool play. Well, Japan at 1-1, trying to find themselves a better matchup, and they did a great job of that in the third quarter. At one point, outscoring Serbia 26-7. But that was followed up by a 7-0 run by Serbia to go along with their 9-point lead at the break. Brings us into a 3-point game. Serbia seemingly with the momentum, and they tie it up. Mila Josevic knocking down the triple. As we're all tied up, Japan turns it over again. Turnover number 14. Excuse me, turnover number 15 after that. And more transition finishes. That has been a large part of the recipe for Serbia. as we had 2 games of pool play. Before a day off. And now today is the final day of pool play, game day 3. And the final game from Hungary. As it is 8 p.m. local time. Or this game started at 8 p.m. local time. Now 9:18 local time. As we've got some calls for Serbia saying they've won it already in the chat. But a turnover forced. Serbia nearly gets it back, and they do. Good play made. A drive-in kick and right back for Serbia. Another 3 on the way. That one very close again. And an offensive rebound, no contest, leads to the two-handed flush from Japa. Nikola Japa with the easy finish. As a 4-point game, stays that. Missed 3, but another offensive rebound for Japan. That is only their 6th offensive rebound, compared to 15 for Serbia. As we did a shout out in the chat as well. Amy says, "Are you kidding me, Japan? Letting them go on a 14-0 run into the lane." Japan, they turn it over again. Turnover number 16. Serbia again on the break. Can't finish. Oh, would have been a crazy putback. Instead, I believe a foul called on the way up. Another look. Ooh. If it weren't for that contact with the body, that could have been a poster. As Serbia will have a chance to add to this lead. As Brent says, greetings from Germany. Let's go Serbia. Thank you for tuning in. As the free throw falls. Second time, no. But another offensive rebound. Offensive rebound number 16. As slicing and dicing, shot on the way. That's good. A big 3-point play down in the last 7 minutes of this one. Serbia retakes the lead. This has been quite the run. As Japan turns it over again. Turnover number 17. More points coming, and the finish on the other end. So I just kept mentioning a 26-7 run from Japan to give them a 9-point lead. They have not scored since, as it has been a 19-0 run. Serbia takes their own 9-point advantage. Unreal. As Akira Jacobs sits out. Okada goes cross course. Nabuto cannot finish on the jumper. Serbia has been on the push for a majority of this run. It's really causing a lot. As down into the lane. Shot, no. Okada comes away from the pack with it. Shortest player in the scrum. As Akira Jacobs, no good on the 3. And halfway through the fourth, Japan still finds themselves scoreless over the last 6 minutes. A lot of basketball left to be played tomorrow. Begins tournament games in the round of 16. As Serbia continues the run 21-0. And a foul called.
Number
21-0 run. As Okada set to inbound. I've seen the question in the chat. It was how tall is number 5 for Japan, Okada. Standing at 5'9". At the U19 level as the shot up and off the mark. Now down to 4 minutes left. Another turnover against Serbia. It's turnover number 15 for them. As it's not hard to forget the kind of run Japan went on. It's just kind of crazy after watching that to see a 21-0 run that is finally broken by Japan. Three-pointer on the way. Does Japan have any fight left in them? As that three-pointer falls. Three deep from Serbia. And a foul on the floor. Looks to be against Japan. Yes, it will be. Someone said they went to the bathroom and come back and Serbia held an 11-point lead. Yes, they did. As Japan went on the huge run after trailing by 9 at halftime. Before Japan went on their own run to start the third quarter to take a 9-point advantage. Followed up by a 21-0 run. As George says, Japan only making threes, haven't had much luck anywhere else. And we'll check that as from 3-point range, 10 for 32 on the night, 31.25% from 3. Not a great percentage, but those 10 threes are important. While from 2-point range, 14 from 22 for Japan. They just haven't been getting many looks down there. George, to your point. As free throw falls. For Mila Josevic, excuse me. Right now, 549 likes. Let's see if we can't get that up to 600 before the end of this broadcast, as the putback is good. Serbia, some more second chance points. It has been crucial to their success and brutal for the hopes of Japan, as a foul is called against Serbia. I believe it was Radatovic called for the foul. Okada has it now. 2:45 left. Shot on the way. No. The putback swatted out of bounds by Japa. As Sakamoto had an idea, and Japa said no way. As off the inbound, three-pointer, no good. And with 2.5, without a miraculous run from Japan, which from the way we saw them knock down threes in that third quarter, I wouldn't rule it out. But Serbia, after trailing by 9, got right back in this game, took a commanding lead, and now lead by 12, matching their largest deficit. I'm seeing 23-3 run in the last 8 minutes. As finally another shot falls. That's only the second made field goal. The 6th point for Japan in this fourth quarter. And we are 8 minutes in. More than 8 minutes in. As Serbia drive, kick, extra. Just looking to bleed clock as they are likely to get out of Group C. As at 3-0, the number 1 seed out of Group C. As they draw another foul. Stops the clock with 1:34. Chad in the chat. Chad, thank you for tuning in. Asking a little bit about the schedule tomorrow. As games will start at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 6 a.m. With that being noon local time. Ten-point lead becomes 11. Serbia. Just been dominant here in this fourth quarter. They've outscored Japan 20-6. And from the end of the third through the start of the fourth, a 21-0 run gave Serbia the game here with 119. As Padron says, good day from the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in. Down to the final minute, Serbia handling. Shot off the mark, but another offensive rebound. Number 21 for Serbia as we did another whistle. The 18th foul called against Japan compared to just 10 against Serbia. Eight games a day through pool play. So we're at 588 likes. Let's see if we can't get that up to 600. The games a day. The other one going on right now. That's Brazil and Egypt. A 7-point contest. Start of the fourth quarter. Head over there as soon as you're done with this one. We appreciate you tuning in. Head over to YouTube. Search FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023. And make sure to like, subscribe, and comment in the chat. As this one just about over. Serbia holding an 11-point advantage with the basketball. 12 on the shot clock. It's into the lane. A lot of contact, but no foul. Japan trying to stay with it, but a shot clock violation. Anyway, as I was saying, head over to YouTube or go to our website, FIBA.basketball/world/U19/2023. So you're tuning into the World Cup. We can find a whole lot of information about this tournament, as well as the link to these games. And you can interact with us here in the chat. "15 seconds left. A 3 on the way. Neto, no. And the rebound, that should just about close it out. 8 seconds. As Serbia comes out on top in the final game of group pool play for Group C. And just like that, they advance as the top seed in Group C heading into tournament play We have the round of 16 coming tomorrow. Serbia at 3-0, Japan at 1-2, Brazil and Egypt battling away right now, start of the fourth quarter, so head over there as we reached the conclusion of this one. Had a lot of fun as Serbia comes out on top. 76-65. Running through some of the stats. Leading scorers for Japan, it was Arita Jacobs, and for Serbia, they were led by 17 from a couple of players. As make sure to follow us here and subscribe. As Lazar Jokovic had 17, and Ilya Jazovic also chimed in with 17 of his own. Serbia comes out on top as I'm Andrew Willett. Thank you so much for tuning in to the FIBA U19 Basketball World Cup 2023. The last games of pool play, Serbia and Japan coming to a close. Serbia wins 76-65.